Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to a very short but exciting episode of CSGO News. As always, let's get right into it. And first off today in big CSGO News, we have the announcement of the next major for CSGO, which will shockingly not be in the year of 2016, which we were promised 3 majors this year. We are now only down to 2, which is MLG Columbus, and then just this past July, we had ESL1 Cologne for only 2 majors this year, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, HLTV sources stated that of all the organizations involved in the bidding process, just for the Olympics guys, you have cities bid for this kind of thing. Of all the organizations like ESL and many others that were involved in the bidding process of where and when the next major will take place, none of those companies and organizations offered up a bid for the year of 2016. So apparently, allegedly, that's why there will be no major to close out this year of 2016, and it'll probably happen in January of 2017. That's the alleged date as of right now. Now, nothing else can be confirmed about who's going to be hosting that event, but all of this is actually coming amidst of the talk of the CSGO International. If you guys heard about this, a lot of people have been talking about maybe CSGO changing that Dota 2 style and having international instead, meaning one major event every single year. Now, there's two sides to this story. If we had one major event every single year, it would obviously be a larger prize pool, a lot more hype around that event, probably more viewers, but it also would mean the downside of that is we wouldn't have a contending champion, throughout the year. It'd be one major team, one dominant team for a whole year's time, and a lot can happen in a year. So it's great as of right now, I think personally, having 3 majors, two majors a year at least. That way we can have it separated by 3 to 6 months, dominant teams throughout the world, because a lot of things, and of course esports in general, a lot of things happen in a span of 3 months, 6 months, let alone a year. So I do like not having international. I do favor the majors, but all of this makes sense because all this talk probably made these organizations very hesitant. If you have all this talk about people saying maybe we only want one major event a year and we've already had 2 majors, of course no one's going to offer up a bid for a 3rd major. So it makes complete sense from a business standpoint why no other companies have actually offered to take that last major of the year, because as of right now we have one solidified #1 team in the world. That's SK Gaming. No one would be very surprised if they went ahead and actually won this next major. I think these next organizations are looking for the major to actually have some changed actual rankings. So that makes a lot of sense. Most likely as of right now, guys, we'll be waiting the 5 months till January of 2017, and that will be our next major is actually announced. So as of right now, 2016 will potentially conclude with only 2 majors happening, meaning a lot of things can happen to those 8 legendary teams from ESL Cologne back in July. It will be a long wait for those 8 teams, and it'll be another long wait until we decide our next 8 legendary teams. And this next CSGO news story, guys, really excites me, and that will be on the date August 18th. Now, what will be on that day will be a simple best-of-3 series between Flipside Tactics and Mouse Sports, who have both agreed to participate in something called the HP Omen Challenge. Now, CSGO has never seen anything like this, guys. I've never seen anything called the Torture Challenge or anything like this. If you guys don't know what an HP Omen Challenge involves, it's a challenge where the viewers decide the miscellaneous so-called distractions or tortures that individual players from each team will have to undergo. So again, CSGO has never seen anything like this. It's been performed in other esports such as Smite. They had this actually last year where players were actually drawn up into individual chambers, and depending upon what the viewers, if you were watching the live stream, you can vote whether they are, hit with insanely freezing temperatures, whether they're spun around on their chair till they're disoriented, or whether they can even be shocked by their chairs. So the viewers themselves during this HP Omen Challenge actually get to decide the tortures or distractions that each players undergo. So it's really kind of a mock type of best-of-3 series here. It's not, a formal kind of, meet up between these 2 teams, but it's a really fun way to get viewer interaction. I really think this is the future of CSGO mock matches. Every once in a while, maybe once a month, we have these 2 top professional teams head off against each other in a best-of-3 series, and you let the viewers decide what happens to them. And also announced just yesterday was the 5th team invited to this October's ESL New York competition. So far, 5 very good teams have been invited to that competition. They'll be posted on the screen right now. And of course, this 5th team will be Na'Vi, and of course, with them, they'll bring the newest member known as Simple, the former Liquid player. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this story so far. They've been invited to ESL New York, and this will be his first tournament with the team, a pretty big one, a $250,000 prize pool for Simple to try and compete with Na'Vi. I honestly just hope that Na'Vi and Simple can live up to the hype that's been put around their team right now, and hopefully don't downfall, because a lot of you guys know there's been a lot of hype that built up around this team and what they can do with Simple on their roster. Can they compete, and can they break the top 5 teams in the world? We'll see at ESL New York. And today's last CSGO news story is a very big one, and apparently an accusation has come towards McSkillet, claiming that his previous video released a week ago about the new upcoming operation that is, contained fake information that was actually not presented to him, and he lied about it. Now, these accusations are pretty harsh. We're going to clear this up for all of you guys. Now, in his video released last week, McSkillet stated he was pretty much 100% certain on those 5 maps he mentioned in that video would be in the next operation. He also went on to mention the dates of the next operation, which we'll talk about later. So in the video as well, he stated that a personal friend of his was heavily involved in the map community and had told him that Valve had sent emails out to chosen maps and their creators to let them know they've been selected and to make sure all those maps are heavily updated and ready to go. So he basically said in that video, when Valve is ready to contact people, they will email them saying that their maps have been chosen chosen, and that's how they go about their conversations. McSkillet further goes on in that video to launch off the new operation dates, which he says he actually listed off that August 10th or August 17th would be those operation dates. So in this video, McSkillet released the 5 maps he thought would be the next operation. He also released the dates on what he thought the next operation would be on, August 10th or August 17th at the latest. And he also told us that Valve sends out emails to the chosen map creators. So those are the 3 alleged, pieces of information that McSkillet said on his side, but unfortunately someone did some digging on information, and here was their response towards McSkillet. So first off, thank you to Zellstorm for posting all this information. You did some heavy investigating there, so thank you for actually confirming all of this for me. But first off, I do want to say the first accusation towards McSkillet about how Valve contacts their people, well, yes, the screenshot here does prove that Valve contacts these map creators through Steam first, and then they later on do their negotiations through email. So not really heavy accusation there. McSkillet wasn't really wrong with that, but kind of a heavy accusation that was occurred there that really was not that big of a deal. So yes, Valve contacts these map creators through Steam and then eventually through email. But the next thing here is these next 3 screenshots actually confirm that at least 3 of the 5 maps shown in McSkillet's videos have said that to be in the next operation, while their creators said also through these Steam messages they have yet to be contacted by Valve, which somewhat confirms here that, they're not confirmed to be in the next operation, therefore stating that McSkillet's information or his source was wrong. So apparently those 3 of those 5 maps were incorrect, and also allegedly a 4th map creator was also contacted, and his map will also not be on there. So apparently the map creators for Austria, Shipped, Thrill, and also a map by the name of Concert are not guaranteed the next operation, and it's also been confirmed by moderators that no one knows the release date of these next operations. Now McSkillet also in his video said that was simply a guess. So McSkillet here, obviously some of this is speculation, but he had very strong evidence to back up and make this video. I'm on neither side here. I think McSkillet had reasoning to actually upload this video, but it wasn't McSkillet who was wrong, it was his source, and he trusted his source. So as of right now, we'll find out either on the 10th or the 17th of August. Obviously you guys know those dates are coming up quite soon. McSkillet still could be right here. We'll find out then whether he was right or wrong. Even then though, he wasn't lying. It was somewhat misled information. It wasn't faked, but either way, this is a big story today. And there is also that slight chance that maybe these creators were contacted by Valve and they were told, hey, we're going to pay you for your maps, so now you have to deny every accusation. So if someone says, hey, was your map selected? You must deny that because we are paying you to keep that secrecy and keep that private. That's a very, very far-fetched idea, but it is also possible that Valve told these map creators to keep this a secret. I had an insanely fun time making this episode of CSGO News. Thank you again to CSGO Handouts for sponsoring this video and my last 2 videos. I will have a new sponsor to announce, an even bigger sponsor to announce for my next 3 videos. Thank you guys all for being so lenient with me and having these videos sponsored. Really do appreciate that. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I'll see you guys all tomorrow with a special episode of CSGO News. As always, remember, I like you. You know what's coming. Goodbye!